Alright, so I'm going to do a short tutorial here to show you how to use Bloody Rain 2K's DIS executable along with the Bigfoot emulator so you can compile your coding for Red to Power 2 in Fourth a lot faster. So you don't have to keep retyping it if you make a mistake or add to, and it speeds up the DIS executable by 100 times. So basically the first thing you need to do is download both of them. I'll put the links in the description. And here you go. So we'll just open them up and we will put them on the desktop. After that, we're going to go into Minecraft. Create a new world here. Okay, after you get into your world and you have your computer already set up, we will add some memory, put it to max. We're going to start it up. We're going to put in a blank floppy. We're going to call this one, we're going to call this DISKEXEC. Next thing you need to do is get the disk ID. So that's our disk ID. We'll get out of Minecraft. You could just minimize, you don't have to close the game. Go to your saves in your Minecraft folder. And then it creates a folder here after you save a disk called Red Power. This is going to be the disk with the disk ID that we just got. So what we want to do is take DISKEXEC and we want to take this name, copy it, remove that disk because we want it to have this program written by Bloody Rain 2K. After that's done, you can go back into Minecraft, pop out your floppy that you named disk executable, and then you run it. Or actually you could just go words. And it should, oh, you gotta reboot it. My fault. Alright, so words, there it is. So now we have that program typed in for us. You don't have to type it in. It's a lot easier. So after you do that, you want to pop it out. We'll save that. We'll get another blank. We'll pop this in here. Now we're going to save this as temp. I call it temp because this is going to be the disk that we're going to write text into so we can read it. Alright, so we'll save it as temp. For some reason it stopped working. So there we go. So now we got a disk called temp, and we'll just grab the disk ID. So now we know that 770 is going to be our temp disk. And we'll do another one here. We're going to call this one, I usually do a fresh boot. So I have that disk executable, and I have my predetermined set of words that I use on pretty much every disk. So we'll call this one fresh boot. Grab the disk ID. So after that, we'll get out of Minecraft again, and we want to get the fresh boot data I want in there, and I have that stored here. This is basically my variables, string, read, print, and the color codes for the I/O outputs. And it was this one, I believe. Let's double check. And it was. So what we want to do now is paste that in there. Save it, close it out, minimize. Now we'll run disk executable. Okay, so there it goes. I guess sometimes you have to pop out the disk to get it to run, pop it back in. So what this is going to do is parse all the text that I just did into there, write it as words in your fourth environment. And then we could go ahead and save those words to this fresh boot disk. As you can see, just for the small amount of words that I have there, it's taking quite a while. And this is why I found an easy way to get a lot of data into a disk image quickly is to use the emulator by Bigfoot. Alright, we're back now, and now you can see that we have all the words in here that I typically use. So we're going to save this disk with those new words as fresh boot. And then what we're going to do is go out of Minecraft, and we're going to get that disk, copy it, and we're going to bring it into our emulator. Once in the emulator, you can go to docs and you check out the readme. It says emu65EL02, and then it has these parameters and then the image. So you could set parameters if you'd like, and then you can have it go to your image. So what we're going to do, we're going to start it up, create a configuration file first. So you go to options, and then we're going to go to CPU speed, put it at 100. I/O penalty, let's leave it the same. Drive boost on, let's increase the memory. And then we're going to add some peripherals. Just oops, IO extender, and another IO extender. And then we'll go save settings. What that does is creates an initialization file here with those settings, so you don't have to enter them every time. So we're going to close that out. Next we're going to create a batch file that launches with what image we'd like. So we're going to call it EMU. Open it up here. We're going to do the EMU, I forgot it already. So basically we're just going to launch this executable. I'm not going to set any parameters. And we're going to launch fresh boot.image. And we will save as. A bat file. So there it is. And next we need to rename this to fresh boot. So there we go. We launched the emulator with all our words. And you can see it responds much faster. So the next thing we want to do is get our temp from our red power directory, which was this disk. Doesn't matter, it could be any disk actually, because we're just going to put text in there, but call it temp. So we could delete that, and let me show you how fast it actually goes. So here's my storage image. I'll put this in the description too, so you guys can use it if you want. But this is a storage facility program that I was writing. It's not complete, but it has some good information. So that data is actually in text format, and I'll have that there too. And we can put that in our temp. We'll save it. And what you need to do next is go disk name. This allows you to swap disks within the emulator. Disk name, you type the name of the disk, which would be, in our case, temp, because we called it temp. And it's in the same directory here, because we launched the bat file from here. And then you can go DISCEXEC, and there you go. See, it's parsing unknown token return, so I have a mistake in the coding for some reason. So let's pull it up, and so you can easily find mistakes, you know, within your coding without waiting 45 minutes before you run into it. So return. Okay, so this is the old code. This isn't accurate. This is actually not good coding. So let's pull it up again here. Okay, this is what I want. So we're going to do this one. Let's relaunch this so we don't have to delete those words. And then disk name. Yep. Alright, so now it's parsing that text file again. And typically I did this one and it took about 45 minutes to actually do. Let's see how long it takes in this emulator with 100 times speed. It takes a matter of minutes. Okay, so it's done already. And we could type words. See that it brought all these new words in here after the color codes. And I'll just launch a program so you can see that you could test your code in here. So here we go. This is the program I made, and you know, it works. Oops, I didn't mean to type 45, but I will cut this and show you how to save, because it's going to take a while. Alright, so we're back here with our words, and let's run it. So you can see after you do a text file that, you know, the program that you typed out actually works. So everything's functioning. And I'll show you how to then save this and then get from the emulator into Minecraft. So what you do is just save like you would in Minecraft. We'll call it storage. And after you save it, you can see that it creates it here. So this is the actual fourth coded from a text file that you did really fast. So we'll close this out, copy the storage, and if you still wanted to, you know, test it out, you could just edit this and launch it straight from that then, if you want to add more code and, you know, test different code. So we'll copy storage and we'll go into our Minecraft saves, which is here, and we will just save it to our temp disk for now. So we'll just do that. And we'll go back into Minecraft here. Let's get our temp disk. Let's pop it in. So there you go. There's all the fourth code that you typed in and on a disk in a matter of minutes. Less time that it would take to actually parse it in-game every time. And every time you want to make a change, it just made it really difficult. It went from, you know, 45 minutes each time to less than a minute every time I wanted to change something in my code. So hope it helps out. And as you can see, I can do the same thing I did in the emulator and just run the code. So you can type in anything you want and get it from a text file into your game. So any questions, leave them in the comments below, and subscribe and like to the video. Thanks.